Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Talk Tuesday. For today's Tech Talk, I want to focus on educational apps. So since we've been in quarantine, my kids have been distance learning, of course, and I've got 4 kids, 8 twin 7-year-olds and a 4-year-old. The 8-year-old is in one school, the other 3 are in a different school. So I've gotten a really good, I think, spectrum of 2 very, very different experiences in terms of distance learning, and not in terms of like one better than the other, but just very different platforms, different schedules, different ways of doing live calls versus non-live calls. So I have found a rabbit hole that I have dove deep into, and it's all about different educational apps. So I've really delved into this and come up with some excellent apps for some very specific reasons that I think supplement the education that they're getting right now. And it's something that I want to actually continue through this summer because I think it provides some really interesting structure. And the overarching sort of benefit to the specific apps that I've chosen is that they really individualize the education for each child, which is something that is a challenge for any teacher with a group of kids, and even more so when they're remote, of course. So I want to show you some of the apps that I've discovered and tell you why I like them. The first app is called Doodle Math. So this is really nice because it tracks their progress, right? And every day they have a set of activities to do, and these are practice questions that they go through. So things like this.
The answer to this is 2.
Right, so the answer to this is 2. That is true. I'm not going to hit that because it'll mess up his progress. But they get rewards this way. And again, what's great about this is it gets harder as they get better, and it gets easier with ones that they struggle with. Second app is by the same company, and that is Doodle Spell. Same idea as Doodle Math, but there's sort of different challenges and things for them to go through and learn how to spell. And again, it assesses their ability as it goes and adjusts accordingly. Third app is called Epic. So this is a reading app, and if you have more than one kid, you can put each of their profiles in here with their ages, and it adjusts accordingly. They can choose from, I think, thousands of books, certainly hundreds, and some really good ones and interesting genres. There's comics, there's things about very specific subjects, and the books can be read to you, or they can read it, and you can track the progress as they go. The next one is sort of a mainstay in the home education sort of genre, and that is Khan Academy. Now, Khan Academy is a little bit less interactive. It does offer practice questions, but for the most part, you're watching videos of very specific concepts, but it has a really wide variety of things. It's got arts and humanity. It's got math, science, economics, even computing. And then you get into specific videos about specific composers or art under here in the music, and they're just very well explained. They're visual, and this is a really sort of good way to round out some of the other topics. The next one is called Marco Polo.
Welcome to World School. Today
So Marco Polo is really interesting. It's set up as like an entire school replacement almost, and you've got music and arts and math and science and even social and emotional learning. And again, very interactive, very individualized, and as a parent, you can get progress reports to see how they're doing in different subjects along the way. Is Duolingo. So Duolingo is probably the most popular language learning app on the market for adults too, and it works great for kids. And again, they can go through very specific levels and progress and get their stars and all sorts of things. They can learn multiple languages at once. My kids are currently learning Chinese. And it's cool because it has multiple different sort of modalities. You can either match things up, or you can say what this means, or you can say what this sound means. It'll even record you saying certain words, and it'll actually know if you got it right or not. So this is an excellent way to learn another language, which from all sorts of great studies shows just really increases your brain's capacity. Duolingo also makes Duolingo ABC, which I don't have on this app because this is one of my older kids' apps. That one is for the slightly younger children, and it's about spelling and reading. But my 4-year-old is going through it, and it's really effective. The next one is called Tappity.
Select a topic to get
So
started.
Tappity is a science learning app. It's got several subjects. This is Haley, your personal science teacher, and there's lots and lots of videos of her. It's very interactive, and the activities are really sort of well paced with this one. What I really, really like with this app is that as they complete a lesson, you as the parent get an email which will tell you that they completed the lesson, but it'll even tell you, here are 4 questions you can ask them about the subject they just learned about, which is excellent for rounding out the whole discussion. And lastly, for now, is Khan Kids. So this is the kids app version of Khan Academy. It's a little bit more, as you see, for the younger crowd, but it's really good because it takes them through several different courses. There's a lot of different games. Again, there's different modalities. So there's moving words around, drawing things, reading things, sounding out things. And this has been just a really good sort of series of apps. And what's nice about apps like this too is that there's a very clear curriculum and a path. So you don't have to worry about that too much and plan that out yourself. So that's what we've got so far. Those 8 apps have really served, again, as a really great supplement to what's happening in school. But I could see these, and I don't want to downplay anything by saying replace by any means, because the teachers at these schools, at both of our kids' schools, are absolutely wonderful and extremely hardworking. And there's an element there that you could never replace in some ways. But as we are all essentially sort of forced into this homeschooling essential situation, even though it's technically distance learning right now, we have to really be responsible ourselves, I think, for curating the curriculum that's going to help our kids along the path that we want. So these are the only apps that I've gone through about 50 apps at this point, but these are the 8 that I've settled on so far. But I plan on adding ones around programming, so learning programming. There's an app called Hopscotch, which I'm going to be testing out with the kids tomorrow. And then the other thing, which has been more of a challenge, there's no, as far as I know so far, there are no really excellent comprehensive apps for teaching social studies in terms of like history and music and arts and things. There's different activities that you can sort of bring into it, and there's things like virtual museum tours and music creation apps, but there's no really good comprehensive app that sort of takes you through a path. Khan Academy is good, but again, those are sort of videos that they're learning with. So in terms of an interactive, self-paced, individualized, self-adjusting kind of an app, that one I haven't found yet, but I'm on the lookout. So that's what I've got for Tech Talk Tuesday today. If you have kids, I hope that that's been helpful. If you have any apps that you love that have been really helpful for your kids, please post them in the comments when you get a chance, and I will check them out. Make it an effective day.